Canada only works as a state. It doesn't. We don't need anything they have. As a state, it would be one of the great states anyway. This would be the most incredible country visually. If you look at a map, they drew an artificial line right through it between Canada and the U.S. Just a straight artificial line. Somebody did it a long time ago, many, many decades ago, and makes no sense. It's so perfect as a great and cherished state.
Hello, once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel at Willie Doki Stories. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So for years, a lot of Americans, especially in MAGA cycles, Make America Great Again, treated Canada like America's quiet little neighbors. The joke were endless. Canada is weak. That's what they're saying. They were saying Canada needs us more than we need them. They even went ahead and said America could survive without Canada tomorrow. But now, the reality is here. A lot of people are finding out something they generally never understood. Americans depend on Canada way more than they thought. And not just a little. We're talking about energy, trade, manufacturing, food, electricity, critical minerals, even natural security. Because the reality is this, folks. The US and Canada are economically tied together so deep that if one side sneezes, the other side catches a cold. And suddenly, some Americans are realizing Canada was never just the nice neighbor as they thought. It was one of the biggest reasons the North American economically stayed stable in the first place. Folks, if you want to believe me, watch this.
If I see another MAGA post about Obama being in Canada, meeting with the Prime Minister, y'all are crazy. Trump literally did the same thing when he was not in office. He as well met with foreign leaders when he was not in office. When you are a former president, you are a private citizen. Therefore, you can meet with anyone that you choose to meet with that is a foreign politician. There's no wrong in that. But because it's Obama, it's a problem. Let me repeat again. Trump did the exact same thing when he was not in office. He even hosted foreign leaders at Mar-a-Lago. And did Democrats have anything to say about that? No, they did not. Obama knows what he's doing. He has a law degree. He knows what he can and cannot do.
We have major breaking news right now. Donald Trump will be announcing a national emergency on electricity after Ontario imposed a 25% tariff or surcharge on electricity coming into the United States, impacting 3 key states: Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. In a new Truth Social post, Donald Trump announced that he has instructed his Secretary of Commerce to add an additional 25% tariff to 50% on all steel and aluminum coming in from Canada. He will also be announcing this national energy emergency to immediately take effect within the next 24 hours. We are officially in a larger trade war. Even though Donald Trump suspended a number of tariffs under the USMCA until April 2nd, Canada did not back down, at least Ontario didn't, and well, now we're in a back and forth match.
Man, this shit about to get ugly, and a lot of you motherfuckers don't know it. As of today, President Donald Trump finally responds back to Canada's tariffs on the U.S. He first tweeted out, "Why would our country allow another country to supply us with electricity, even for a small area? Who made these decisions, and why? And can you imagine Canada stooping so low to use electricity that also affects the life of innocent people as a bargaining chip and a threat?" He states they will pay a financial price for this so big that it will be read about in the history books for many years to come. Meanwhile, Ontario Premier Doug Ford has already threatened to shut electricity off to Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. President Trump goes so far to tweet out another message. Based on Ontario, Canada placing a 25% tariff on electricity coming into the United States, I have instructed my Secretary of Commerce to add an additional 25-cent tariff to 50% on all steel and aluminum coming into the United States from Canada. Now, Doug Ford yesterday stated that if any other tariffs were placed on Canada, he was shutting them lights off. Clearly,
while Donald Trump seems to be doing everything he can to divide us from Canada, threatening them with tariffs, and even threatening their very existence, here you're going to watch Barack Obama meet with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney yesterday in order to discuss the future of Canadians and Americans alike. Do you miss this?
Y'all, today is the first day that my son, an American kid, has his very first soccer practice in Canada. And as some of you know, my family and I own a ranch in Montana. But after seeing where our country is headed, we were led to start exploring other countries abroad. And so far, we are in Calgary, Alberta. Sadly, our family was attacked this week by a MAGA Facebook page that has 6 million followers. And the comment section alone basically proved what I've been saying. There were so many racial slurs directed at my family. People saying things like this. Folks saying that people that live in Montana saying that, oh, they don't own a ranch here. Oh, they're on Section 8. That's a lie. She's lying. But y'all, I want to tell you guys, that racism is why we are exploring other countries. Although we love our property in Montana, it's absolutely beautiful. We wake up to some epic views, but the racism, the lack of community takes a toll on you, especially when you're raising Black children. And being here in Calgary, Alberta, it is not only family friendly. They have universal health care, which, you know, we know it's not always a perfect system, but at least you're not going into debt if you had something, you know, broke an arm or something like that. Safety, you don't hear about school pew-pews. There's none of that here. The kindness of Canadians, the nature, the green spaces, the parks, the diversity. There is so much to love about being here in Canada. And I want to encourage you all to start looking at other places. I know not everybody's called to leave. I get that, you know.
We have some news this morning. MAGA has erupted overnight over Barack Obama visiting Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Barack Obama visited Canada, and now MAGA is suggesting that he should be arrested, that he's launching some type of coup. I mean, you can't really make these things up, but it is a Saturday morning, so there usually is a crazy headline. You have folks like Laura Loomer saying, why is Barack Obama meeting with world leaders while President Trump is in office? This is a coup. You have another one, this is a big MAGA account on Twitter, saying Barack Obama is up in Canada holding private discussions with Mark Carney. Obama needs to sit down and figure his freaking place before his ass ends up in prison for violating the Logan Act. Mind you, Donald Trump met with world leaders in 2024 before he was president again and when he wasn't in office. There's nothing wrong with Barack Obama meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, but it does upset them because Trump doesn't have a great relationship with Carney. And if Obama has a good relationship, well, that's not good for, I guess, MAGA in some way.
So once again, the Republicans are triggered by President Obama. He could breathe and they'd be angry. And this time they're upset because he met with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada. That's it. Carney said on social media, welcome back to Canada, President Obama. Thanks for joining us in Toronto for important conversations on how we build a better future. Normal stuff, right? But for MAGA, they think that something deeper is going on. For example, Laura Loomer said, why is Obama meeting with world leaders while Trump is in office? This is a coup. She thinks that Obama meeting with Carney is an attempt to overthrow the United States government. Another popular MAGA account on Twitter said, he's a former president. This violates the Logan Act. No, it does not. Honestly, I don't know what the F he thinks he's doing. The balls the Democrats have, unbelievable. I actually responded to that tweet by saying this you, referencing her back in 2024, celebrating Donald Trump meeting with Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago. The MAGA Republicans hate Obama because he's better than Donald Trump in every single way, and people actually like him. He's one of the most popular politicians in America, despite leaving the presidency years ago. People still love him.
Well, MAGA is very upset this morning. It's all because Obama was in Toronto and he met with Mark Carney before a gala where he was a keynote speaker at. Check out those comments under that post, shall we? Oh, Obama committed a federal crime where he has no immunity about. Oh, Uncle Jonah thinks it's a coup. Canada's becoming a national security threat. Okay. More. Oh, I can't wait for Trump to do this after his term's over. Now, I want to dig into this one a little bit. Because there are two world leaders Trump 100% did talk to and meet with in between his presidencies. No way. No way. No. Netanyahu and Mar-a-Lago in 2024? There's Trump, there's Netanyahu, 2024, before Trump's presidency, before the election of 2024. Now, who is this guy? Who is that guy? That can't be Steve Witkoff. Steve Witkoff that is in charge of the negotiations currently, as of now, with Iran, along with Trump's son-in-law? That can't be. Oh, and also Trump was talking to Putin. He still had communication lines open with Putin. During Biden's presidency, Trump met with Putin, who had the war going on with Ukraine, and Netanyahu, which was bombing Gaza. Interesting.
Yeah, see, this conversation started getting louder after trade tension, tariffs, and American first, rhetorical started colliding with reality. Because saying, and I quote, "We don't need Canada," sounds strong in a speech, but in the real world, America imports enormous amounts of oil from Canada every single day. Not the Middle East, Canada. And a lot of America don't even realize Canada is one of the largest energy suppliers to the US. Entire United States industry rely on Canada crude oil, natural gas, aluminium, lumber, and even electricity. That's not politics, folks. That's infrastructure. And that's when supply chains get disrupted. Prices rise fast. Suddenly, people start asking, why are construction costs going up? People are asking, why are factories slowing down? They even went ahead and asked, why are certain goods more expensive than normal? Because modern economics are connected. And MAGA messaging sometimes sells this fantasy that can just cut everyone off and instantly become fully independent overnight. That's not how the global economy works, especially with Canada. Canada and the US literally build intertwined system over decades. Cars assembled in America often contain parts that cross the Canadian border multiple times because the vehicle was finished. Let's go to farmers. Farmers trade across the border, manufacturers trade across the border, and energy grinds connect across the border, as we all know. Even some northern US states rely heavily on Canadian electricity. That's how integrated these countries are. And here's the part that really surprised some people online. Canada actually have leverage too, and a lot more than they assumed. But MAGA influencers spent years talking about Canada like it was economically irrelevant. But when trade disputes start affecting American industries, suddenly the tone changes very fast. you start hearing maybe we should negotiate. Maybe tariffs aren't helping. Or even maybe we underestimated this relationship with US and Canada. And honestly, this is the honest truth. This entire situation exposed something bigger about modern politics. A lot of political movements love simple slogans because they sound very powerful. America first. We don't need Canada anymore. Bring everything back home. But governing a real economic is more complicated than chanting at a rally. You can't just replace decades of trade partnership instantly. You can't rebuild supply chains overnight. And you definitely can't pretend one of your biggest trading partners doesn't matter, especially when millions of American jobs are connected to that relationship. That's the irony here. For all the mocking of Canada, America and Canada are actually one of the closest economic partnerships on earth. I mean, the countries share one of the largest trading relationships in the world. And despite all the political drama online, businesses on both sides know something very important. Hurting Canada often ends up hurting Americans too. The people living in America. That's why when economists, manufacturers, and industry leaders get nervous when political leaders start treating trade relationships like reality TV fights, because real people, pay the price. So now, the conversation online is shifting, because a lot of Americans who once laughed at Canada are suddenly realizing something very deep. You don't notice how important a partner is until tension starts affecting your own economy. And that's the bigger lesson here. In today's world, strength isn't just about who can shout the loudest, but it's about who can keep economies stable, supply chains moving, and alliances functioning. And whether the people like admitting it or not, America and Canada need each other. So folks, drop your thoughts in the comment below. Do you think Americans underestimated how important Canada is to the US economy? Or do you think the US could eventually become fully independent from Canadian trade? And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and turn on the notification for more commentary videos like this. Until next time, you grab a nice one.